change over time, but one thing has stayed consistent. Celebrating 30 years on the air on WROI is the first federal program. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition, streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the first.
And good morning. It is time for First Federal program on this beautiful sunshiny day. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just in my head. I'm wishing, right?
Yeah.
Wishful thinking.
Positive thinking. I like it.
70 degrees. Looks like the rain maybe has stopped finally, so hopefully that's done for the day. But
Yes.
clouds. We did get quite a bit of rain. How was the drive in?
It was a little rainy.
A little rainy.
This morning, but shouldn't have to water the flowers.
No
later
watering.
on,
No watering needed. Free water today.
water to come down the sky, water all over the roads. So hopefully everybody's been safe with their commute to work or maybe from work this morning, depending on your shift. So
There still could be some areas out there, so if you're traveling, be careful.
looks like it might be a little, maybe of a wet weekend.
Yeah.
So
Off and on. It's Indiana. It's
Yep.
August.
it could be about 100 degrees.
I was going to
right
say,
now,
yeah.
so-
Right now, I mean, they say humid this afternoon, but still, they're not talking those triple digits like
Right.
when we were growing up and remembering August.
Yes. Can't believe we're already halfway through August.
No kidding.
August 16th. It's
I keep seeing, of course, we'll get into talking about some of this here in a little bit, but a lot of college kids going back. I'm
Yes.
seeing posts, and
yes.
we'll talk about that here shortly as well.
College kids and high school football's got to be starting here soon.
Scrimmages tonight.
Yeah.
So, volleyball scrimmages got started
That
this
time of
week.
year. So
Golf's going well.
yep. I
So,
saw a lot of colleges yesterday were posting that yesterday's finally the first day for the new calendar sports year for 2024, 2025.
The
So,
official.
yeah,
flip the calendar.
Flip the calendar. Yep. So it's like, all right, here we go.
Ah,
So,
Flying by.
yes.
We'll be talking winter here before long.
Oh, no, let's pump the brakes a little bit. I like fall. Fall's my favorite.
Fall is a
season,
good one.
so-
Fall is a good.
So,
What do you got for us today, Tanner?
yes, got a fun show in store for us today. Cameron Johnson, who, if you've been a regular viewer or listener to the First Federal Radio Show over the summer, you've got to know Cameron a little bit. He's been our summer intern in the marketing department at First Federal Savings Bank. Today is his last day with us, so I thought I'm going to throw him into the fire a little bit.
That's
He's
right.
going to be our guest this morning. So
Put the hot seat on.
yeah, a little bit.
Do we get to play that hot questions thing for him? You know, we can put
Maybe,
him on the spot.
maybe. But he did come up with one more trivia question
I'm
for
sure.
the summer
I'm
for
sure
you.
it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. The Kansas City Chiefs can become the first team in history to win 3 straight Super Bowls this year. However, a three-peat has happened before in the NFL prior to the Super Bowl era. Which team achieved this feat?
Oh my!
The Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New York Giants, or the Green Bay Packers? All pretty good franchises.
Yeah,
I've got
I've got two that kind of popped right up, and now I got to choose between those two.
We'll give you the whole show.
Thanks, that's nice.
I love that. So,
Probably still won't.
well, the MLB, we're really starting to weed out who's in playoff contention, who's not. Still kind of a jumbled mess in the National League for the wild card, but looking across the league, the Yankees are sitting at a 72-50 record, tied with the Orioles. That's the best division race, probably, record-wise, the AL East.
Yeah, it's been competitive all year.
AL Central's pretty competitive too. You got the Guardians, who have still been the biggest surprise team, I would say, this year, at the record of 72-49. The Twins are a couple games behind them at 68-53. Then the Royals are right behind them, 60-55. Then it drops off to the Tigers at 59-63, and then the White Sox. I don't mean to pick on White Sox fans every week, but just to see this number on paper, 29-93, is just staggering.
They're going to have to do something.
I did see they lowered their season ticket prices for next year.
I'm glad that that's their business model.
Yeah.
It would have been weird if they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, if they don't make some off-season changes in management and players, and it's not going to get any better.
They need to do a lot. I know. I have a buddy of mine who's a White Sox fan. He's been to quite a few games this year. They called him a week or two ago, offering him 5 free games this year if you put a deposit down towards a certain package next year. He was trying to haggle with them a little bit, trying to get really good seats for next year if he's going to do this. So
I'm sure they're probably
Oh yeah,
wheeling the deal like
calling
that.
anybody who's
Uh-huh.
new game this year.
You want front row? Okay.
Yeah. So I'll have to touch base with them to see if he's able to get the seats he really wanted, because he was trying to
Well, the
negotiate.
problem is that, a lot of times if you've got tickets like that, you can't go. There's always a waiting list of
Right.
people that your friends or whatever that want to go.
Yeah.
He ain't.
No.
He probably not got too many
No.
friends that are going to want to take those tickets.
Oh, I give him a hard time for the 5 games he's been to this year.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of them was against the Rockies. I'm like, he couldn't have asked for a worse matchup to
yeah.
go to.
Well, they were hoping for a win. Yeah, I mean, come on.
He said that day, total, he spent $75 in total, and most of it was on parking.
Wow.
That includes concessions, that
Yeah.
includes the ticket and parking, $75 total. So.
When Grady Sizemore's their interim manager now, he was in his peak when I started getting into
Yeah.
baseball, so
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of weird
remember
to
him.
see him as a manager. But
Yeah. Oh, get used to that, kid. There'll
I
be plenty
know.
more of that.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Craig Counsell.
yeah.
in his
Well,
speech,
I'm
so.
starting to get used to being older than the players. Like
Yeah.
I'm older than Jackson Holiday. I'm older than Wembenyama in the NBA. So I'm.
That doesn't get any better.
No, it's
No.
gonna keep getting more and more. Yep.
Since Troy mentioned a few minutes ago, the Brewers have a pretty good grip on that division at 69-52. The Reds have moved into second. They have the same record as the Cardinals, 16-61, but they own the tiebreaker right now. Cubs are behind them at 59-63. Then the Pirates riding a 10-game losing streak right now at 56-64. So we'll have a new report next week. The Olympics have come and gone. Paris Olympics. Fun Olympics to watch.
It was.
The U.S. tied with China for the most gold medals at 40, but they smashed the overall medal count. I believe it was
Yeah.
either a record or a
Right at it. Yes.
right at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you see the more interesting part about that, though? The Indiana athletes, how
Oh, yeah.
well they
Yes.
did with medals.
If they were their own country, they would
Yes.
have done pretty well.
Yes,
So,
I mean, I thought that was kind of cool, and
yes.
of all the neat things going,
Oh, yeah.
then somebody actually said that on there. I'm like, hey, they're recognizing that.
Out of all the states in the U.S., Indiana and Colorado, I think, are
Yeah.
most well represented as far as athletes.
Cool.
Good performances. But I did catch some rock climbing over the weekend, Randy.
That's
You mentioned that
interesting.
last week. That was pretty cool to watch.
And it didn't take them long to get up
Oh
that
my
long.
gosh! I watched the lady who ended up winning gold, and she was the gold medal winner in Tokyo. And yeah, she was incredible.
She was up it by the time I'd been going, all right, which one am I going to
Oh,
grab?
I know. They don't mess around. They don't mess around.
Did you guys catch any breakdancing either?
At the
I
last
saw
day,
the Australian lady
Yeah.
that went viral.
Yep.
Yeah, I did not know that. I mean, they got to be in
Oh,
great
yeah,
shape too.
it's-
I mean, you think about it, but I did not know that was an Olympic sport
Well,
this year.
And they already announced it's not.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not.
not.
Okay.
2028. That's going away. Boxing
Yeah.
is going away.
But they're adding 5. For,
They're adding flag football, which is
Yeah.
the fastest growing sport for women
Uh-huh.
across the U.S., which is pretty cool. I believe baseball and softball are
Baseball,
coming
softball
back.
coming back.
They
Yes.
did this year. I don't remember the other ones they're adding.
Yeah, I know. I saw
But
it.
yeah,
I thought it was kind of cool, the closing ceremonies. Did you catch that? And then kind of like the last half hour where they did the transition
yes,
and some of the things they showed for LA.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's gonna be neat. And in the basketball team, both won gold.
Yeah.
The women's game got very close at the end, but it'll be interesting to see what the roster looks like in 2028, because a lot of guys who carried it this year, I don't know if they'll be on that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
4
pretty
years.
scary. France is gonna be in good shape.
They are, yeah.
I think the women's side's going to be
Yeah,
close
Oh,
like
yeah.
that too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're going to see some roster changes and some other countries that are going to.
the U.S. is still king and I'll say queen too for the women, but the other countries are getting better.
Yeah.
And
There's
it's,
no blowouts.
no.
Well, hopefully they don't leave Caitlin Clark off the team. Probably not.
I think
Probably
you'll
not.
see her and Angel and
Reese, yeah.
and then it'll be
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. Of course, being in the USA,
Yeah.
I don't think they'll have to worry about not having a tournament.
Right. Indianapolis got awarded the WNBA All-Star game for next year.
They
So-
thought it was packed this year.
Yeah.
In Phoenix, I have a feeling that they're going to break some more records
Yeah,
next
so
year.
that's
for
pretty
the
cool. They had
All-Star.
NBA this year, WNBA
Yeah.
next year. So Indianapolis does great with big events. So
Huge.
yeah,
I mean, they just know how to do it.
yep,
And they keep adding hotels to be able to
yep.
stay up with the demand.
Exactly. And NFL preseason going strong. Every team has at least one game under their belt. Some two as of last night. The Bears host the Bengals tomorrow, and the Colts host the Cardinals tomorrow. So I was down at the Colts Bronco game last week. Good crowd for a preseason game. I think being game one really helped.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a nice day. The window was open. The roof was not, because the roof was having some mechanical issues.
They've got those fixed.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But now it's going to rain Saturday,
Yeah,
so they probably won't
yeah.
even get a chance to open it. So.
But it was fun to get down there with Lucas Oil. Of course, as a Bronco fan, I was glad the Broncos won, even though preseason doesn't really matter. But got to see the debut of Bo Nix.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
how was the feel? I mean, because preseason, I know you hear a lot of people say preseason.
It was pretty
I'm not
relaxed
going.
compared to a regular season game, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I saw some people, you could tell some Colts season ticket holders getting really into it, getting on the refs and everything.
Yeah.
But it was interesting seeing the new kickoff rule in person,
Yeah.
seeing the first down markers without the chains because they're testing the digital format in the preseason.
Okay.
So that was
I
interesting.
didn't realize that.
We still have the orange markers, but there's no actual
no
chains.
chains.
So
Yeah, I saw some controversy with that
Yeah.
because there was a very clear short ball, and it ended up taking 3 minutes and 30 seconds for the whatever the technology to determine that it was short. But when they showed it on the big screen, it was like
It was
not
obvious.
even close. Yeah.
I did not realize that. That'll be
and
interesting.
saw some guys wearing, particularly on the Colts, they had Jonathan Taylor and one of their
Yep.
defense players wearing the Guardian helmets,
Mm.
which is kind of the padding they wear during practice,
Right,
but actually
right.
wearing the padding in the game over their helmet.
Okay.
Looks kind of interesting to say the least, but hey, if that's what they want to do and it's safer,
And the NFL's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
find
right.
a way to
Make
make it look better.
Yeah.
I think. in
Because
the
right now it
future,
just looks
so.
like a padded
A
shell
on your-
of the helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get it all painted up. It'll
Yeah.
look the same. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
You won't even realize it.
So, but that was interesting. But yeah, glad to have NFL back, and football in general. And
So you got your tickets for Denver?
I did get myself some tickets for the Panther game in October
Okay.
to go out there. So
That'd be good.
yeah, could be a winnable game. One of the only winnable games on the schedule. So got some tidbits here this morning. On this day in 1930, Walt Disney Studios released their first cartoon with color and sound.
Wow.
I would not have guessed it was that early.
No.
So
That's pretty
it
impressive.
made quite a few cents.
Yeah.
On this day in 1954, the first issue of Sports Illustrated was published. Still going strong today, a little different than it was.
Right.
A lot of digital now. On this day in 1969, the second day of Woodstock occurred.
Wow.
We were talking about that before we went on air.
Woodstock.
So, on this day in 2003, Cristiano Ronaldo made his debut for Manchester United at the age of 18 years old. He's made a few dollars.
I was going to say, that worked out well for
Yeah.
you.
And on this day in 2008, Usain Bolt set the world record for the 100-meter dash at 9.69 seconds.
Still can't imagine.
That's just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, on the website of all the on this days, there's this
A
time
lot
of year
of
a lot of Usain Bolts. Yep.
He's pretty incredible. And today is National Roller Coaster Day, National Tell a Joke Day, that's always a good day, National Airborne Day, and National Rum Day.
Ah.
So I'm sure you can
Celebrate today.
You might not want to be airborne off a roller coaster, but
Well, you might if you
you
drink too
might.
much rum.
That's true. That's true. So there's a lot that
You can tie it all together and have a great day.
Yeah, you can. Got a lot of upcoming events going on around the community. Of course, tonight we're excited about this at First Federal Savings Bank. We're teaming up with the Times Theater for a community movie night. We're going to be showing The Princess Bride. That's at the movie will air at 7 o'clock. The doors open at 6:30. Free entry, soda, and popcorn for the public and people of all ages. So
Could be a
expecting
great
a
night.
pretty crowded.
Could be hot
house
and
up
humid,
there.
so
Yeah.
come in, the air conditioning,
Come see
and watch a great movie.
a classic for all ages, a very family-friendly classic. So you haven't already. Fulton County Leadership Academy. There's still a few spots left for the 2024-2025 class. Interested participants should contact the Chamber or Purdue Extension for more information. We had Jessica Riffle and Jody Wynn on a few weeks ago to talk about that, so you can also go back and listen to the interview we did with them to get more information. Fulton County Animal Center is having their annual rummage sale coming up on August 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Donations are being accepted from 2 to 6 beginning on August 18th at the Fulton County Historical Society.
Yeah.
They always do a good job with that.
Big week for them next week.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Some great deals.
And the St. Joseph Church here in Rochester is having a fundraiser for their sister parish in Haiti. And that's going on tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. at the St. Joseph Church Hall on Main Street. It'll be a Mexican festival offering both dine-in and carry-out meals, with all proceeds going to their sister parish in Haiti.
Great deal there.
They do that around this time every year too. And lastly, Joe's Hopes Foundation and the Liberty Fire Department are holding a dine and donate event at Dreddy's on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The menu will consist of biscuits and gravy, sausage, eggs, and your choice of coffee or water. It's all for a free will cash donation. The eggs are sponsored by Creighton Brothers, and the meal is sponsored by Rochester Iron and Metal. All proceeds go to Joe's Hope Foundation and the Liberty Fund.
Cool. Great opportunity.
Yeah, they've been
Great breakfast there.
Joe's Hope Foundation has been partnering with different organizations the last few months, doing these once a month on a Sunday in Dreddy's, and I think they're going over really well.
Pretty good breakfast too.
Money news, the Dow went up yesterday, as it went up 554 points, a little over 554 points exactly, closed at 40,563.06. I did see the futures, some were up and some were down this morning, so, we'll watch it. It's going to go one way or the other.
Still on that roller coaster.
Kind of been a roller coaster, always is a roller coaster. And speaking of money news, it's not Forbes. I don't know what publication came out with it. Sportgo. Thank you, Cam. Came out with their evaluations of sports franchises across the world, and some interesting NFL ones came out. The Cowboys are the first sports franchise to be worth $10 billion.
Wow.
They're worth $10.32 billion. The Rams overtook the Giants for second most valuable at $7.79 billion. Giants are third at $7.65 billion. The Dolphins are the biggest mover, going from 12th to 7th. That surprised me. $6.76 billion. Average franchise is worth $5.93 billion. That's 15%.
Wow.
So,
I can see that though. I mean, the way they're being paid now and everything ticket costs.
Yeah.
New stadiums.
NFL's king. I mean,
yeah.
I know Cleveland just announced they're going to be getting a dome stadium here in the near future. I think heard a boo back there from Todd.
I was going to say a boo from the peanut guy.
So many of these cities are wanting big events, chance to host Super Bowls. So
and also I think it's a little more convenient for other things to host.
Sure.
And so they're not just football.
Concerts.
They're getting different things.
So, but the traditionalist to me, especially cold weather, I like outdoor.
Get outside, enjoy it. Yeah.
It's supposed to be played outside. So. Well, First Federal, we're open today from 8:30 to 5, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. We'd love to see you. But if you can't make it into our lobby during those hours, you can always bank with us online with our mobile app, which is free to download. Type in FFSB Rochester or First Federal Savings Bank. Look for the white star in the green background. You're halfway there from downloading it. Our ATM's open 24/7 as well if you need some cash. We still have some certificate of deposit specials going on right now. We have a 6-month CD at a 5.09% annual percentage yield, and we got a 12-month CD at a 4.84% annual percentage yield. So, love to open one of those up for you. And we offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. Right now, when you open up a new checking account, you get a free gift, which is a bento box.
Had that last week.
Yeah, we brought it in last week to show it off. It's good to store your lunch if you take your lunch to work or wherever you're going with you, or if you just want to carry some snacks around or save something for later. They're really nice food storage containers there. We offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Zach Reuter for more information. His direct line is 574-223-1731. And if you're thinking about retiring, want to roll over a 401k, want to get a 401k started, IRAs, those type of thing, contact Mark Blueball or Brian Bell of our Financial Services Department for more information. They'd love to help you. Their direct line is 574-223-1705. And keep up to date with the latest going on at First Federal Savings Bank by following us on all social media platforms. That includes liking us on Facebook, following us on X and Instagram at FF Banking is our handle on those, liking us on LinkedIn, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, which you can see an archive of the First Federal radio shows from the past 5 years. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured and equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 39927.
It's official.
That makes us legal.
Now we can just
And
drill
ready to-
Cam because
ready
it's
to-
his last day.
Ready to drill
Here we go.
Cameron Johnson, who's been a summer intern for us at First Federal Savings Bank, particularly in the marketing department. Morning, Cam.
Morning. Thanks
Thanks.
for having me.
Thanks for coming around the desk to join this morning.
Yeah, getting on the other side of the
Oh
camera.
yeah. Yep.
So, Cameron, introduce yourself to everybody listening or watching out there on Facebook Live who might not be familiar with you.
Yeah, so again, my name is Cam Johnson, and I grew up here, was born in Rochester, went to Rochester High School. I'm currently a third year, going into my junior year at Butler University as a marketing major, and I've been the summer intern for First Federal Savings Bank this past summer, and it's been a really great experience as I head back to college, so it's kind of my quick little
Quick intro.
notes there of me.
So, what made you want to attend Butler University? What was it that stood out at Butler? compared to
Yeah,
the school
so-
you're looking at?
My personality is not the IU, Purdue, 30,000+
Sure.
people, and so I didn't even look at those colleges. I didn't step foot on those campuses. I just knew that wasn't for me. I only looked at 2 colleges, Ball State, which is where my brother just headed off to this past weekend, and Butler, and Ball State was first. I really liked it, and I went to Butler, and just everything appealed to me.
You just knew.
The basketball culture there, the sizes of the classrooms and the campus itself, everything's pretty walkable. Like this past year, I basically had a 2-minute walk to my classes from my dorm. Didn't
That's nice.
I could basically wake up like 10 minutes before my class started and get ready and head over there. Very nice. Just the atmosphere there. It's a pretty campus. Again, like Hinkle Fieldhouse is a historic sports venue, so that was very appealing. And then the class sizes are very similar to kind of what Rochester would offer. The average class size of Butler, I think, is about 25 people, so it's not.
Get more of the
not-
hands-on.
Yeah, good relationships with your professors. Not, you don't have the assistants who are kind of just there to help you, and you don't ever get to actually talk to your professor, which I personally like.
Sure.
And my favorite classes are the ones where I actually have a relationship with my professor. So anyone who's thinking about Butler, I would highly recommend looking at it.
You got City of Indianapolis right there.
Oh yeah,
Plenty to
yeah,
do.
tons of
So,
stuff, so many options. You can go to Colts or Pacers game or Fever game,
Yeah.
and there's hundreds of restaurants to choose
Yeah.
from. It's very
Yeah.
different than growing up here
Yeah.
for sure.
Now, going into Butler, did you always know that you wanted to major in marketing, or was that a decision you made shortly after you got there? Or?
Yeah, I've actually only been a marketing major for about a year.
Okay.
So I went into Butler. I knew I wanted to do business, something in the business school, which they have a very prestigious business school. That's another thing that appealed to me, and just
Why you chose to get into marketing going to Butler?
yeah. So I actually didn't declare to be a marketing major until the beginning of my sophomore year. So that was just this past year, and just the like creative side of marketing is what really appealed to me, but also the analytical side. I think you get both of those from
Sure.
marketing, whereas some things in business are very much just kind of the running the business, managing people. Some parts of business are just analytics, statistics. I like both of those things. That's part of the reason I'm such a big baseball fan, is the statistics, analytical side of things. So I would say that's why I personally chose marketing, just kind of the balance there. And I think working here has been really good for both, especially the creative side of things, getting to do graphic design and stuff like that, getting to help produce and get the show out to people's eyes, just doing stuff like that.
Yeah, what appealed to you about First Federal to possibly want to do your summer internship there?
Number one thing is just the reputation around Rochester for sure. I've always just known about First Federal Savings Bank. I think before this internship, I probably would have only been able to name 2 or 3 banks in Rochester, and First Federal would have been the first one that came to my mind. And then also just, Evan, he's someone who's very respected, and our families have always been close. He was super close to my uncle, and then his parents and my grandparents are very close family friends. So just having the opportunity to really meet and work with him, because I'd never gotten to meet him before, and I've always heard such good things about him, and he's lived up to everything people say about him. And just the people in general, and I didn't really realize this till I got there, but every single person who works at the bank is so friendly. So my first day at the bank, I was so nervous going in, and I would say by the end of my first week, all my nerves had subsided just because of the people. And usually I'm not an anxious person, but first day of work, especially this was my first internship, so very nerve-wracking, but everybody made it so easy, and now I feel comfortable with everybody at the bank. Everyone is just amazing, and I feel like the community probably realizes how great everybody at First Federal is.
Yeah, glad to hear you say all of that.
Yeah.
I was speaking with Cameron Johnson this morning, who's been our summer intern at First Federal Savings Bank. And one fun thing we got to do is I got to take you around to all 6 of our different branches.
Yeah.
Let's speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, that was cool getting to go to all 6 branches. They all have kind of their own unique personality. It was cool also just getting to go around Indiana, especially up north. I hadn't really been up there too much, just besides when we've gone to South Bend for things, but I hadn't really ever been too much around like the Mishawaka or Elkhart areas, so that was cool. And random fact, I don't know if you knew this, but I was just watching Hard Knocks, and Joe Shane, born in Elkhart, Indiana.
Did not know that.
I was looking up his Wikipedia page. I was like, I'm interested in this guy's background.
Interesting.
That was the day after we went to Elkhart.
Oh, wow.
I looked up his Wikipedia page and said Elkhart, Indiana,
That's
right
pretty
there.
cool.
So fun fact for
That's
for you
pretty
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything else you'd like to hit on this morning about your overall experience at First Federal this summer?
Not too much. I just think overall it was a great experience. I learned a lot. I think everybody at the bank who might be listening to this, I think Todd, I think Tanner, everyone's been super great. Like I said earlier, nobody's hard to work with, hard to communicate with. It's a very, very positive work culture, and I think outside of the marketing, that's the biggest thing I'll take away is what a positive work culture looks like.
Well, thank you, Cam, for everything you've helped me with, helped the marketing department with, and helped First Federal with overall this summer. You've been a great asset. We truly try to keep that family culture. You know, we're a First Federal family, and you've fit right into the family. So thank you for everything you've done.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Now Tanner's got to get back to remembering.
We keep you on speed dial there.
Yeah.
All right, Randy. Let's see if we can get the trivia
I don't
question.
know. I'm going to try to get Cam's last one right here.
Our question this morning: the Kansas City Chiefs can become the first team in history to win 3 straight Super Bowls this year. However, a three-peat has happened before in the NFL prior to the Super Bowl era. Which team achieved this feat? Was it the Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Giants, or Green Bay Packers?
The Steelers and the Packers kind of just popped out at me.
Yeah.
So, with that, I'm going to have to go with my wife's side, and I'm going to go with the Steelers.
G-Man.
Nope. It is the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers.
I was
Pre-Super
half
Bowl?
there.
Did they do it?
Does that mean like
Yeah.
before like 69 or 68?
65, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Packers won the 65 NFL championship game and then went on to win Super Bowl 1 and 2 in 66 and 67.
Okay.
Art Star.
I was in the right thing, but I just went with my. See, I shouldn't go with my wife's Steelers.
Yeah, there you go.
So whenever someone says the Chiefs are going to be the first team to three-peat, if they don't say Super Bowl,
There
there you go.
Technically
So,
not correct.
Get them on the technicality.
And we're going to close with some words of wisdom this morning. I'm going to let Cam read these.
all right. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. It's by Jimmy Dean.
All right, and with that, we'll close out with the First Federal program. Cam, thanks for being here all summer. It's been fun talking to you, and
Appreciate it.
I'm hoping Tanner doesn't keep up with all your difficult questions, so I can get back getting them right. So, have a great year at college too.
Appreciate it.
Tanner, Todd, thanks for coming in. We'll
Thanks,
talk
Randy.
to you again next Friday.